Good morning! So it is Sunday today, and it's one day before I officially start 4th year of medical school. So I'm packing up here, getting ready to go to the airport to head to Ottawa for my first rotation of 4th year, which is going to be a visiting elective at the University of Ottawa. But right now I'm still on the cruise ship that I've been on for the past week for my vacation because we have a 1-week break between 3rd year and 4th year medical school, so we're coming to the end of that, unfortunately, but it's okay, I still have lots of fun. And so I need to head to the airport for my flights, but also this time there's an ongoing Air Canada strike and I'm going on Air Canada for my flights. I wasn't able to check in for the past, I don't know, like 10 hours, but then suddenly I could. And there's a lot of flights still getting cancelled at this time, so we'll have to see if I'm able to get onto the flight at all today. Hey guys, so I was able to check into my flight, but en route to the airport, my flight got cancelled, so this is great. This is totally fine, which means now I have to head over to the service desk for Air Canada and talk to them to get my flight rebooked. So let's stay tuned and see what happens. Bye! So now came the fun part of trying to figure out exactly where I would go in terms of talking to an Air Canada agent or just really anyone that could point me in the right direction to get my flight rebooked and find alternative options. So eventually I was able to find this special assistance area for Air Canada with a significantly long lineup as expected, and the agents there pointed me towards one of the help desks in another part of the airport. So guys, we are now waiting here at the service desk, and it's basically been an hour, more than an hour, that we're trying to figure out if I can get onto a different flight, but literally there's nothing available. And I guess that today's Sunday, but then essentially the only flights they have available is going to be on Friday, so that's basically an entire week gone in my elective. And the lineup here is like ridiculously long just for people to get over and try to get some form of booking going on here. Yeah, like literally every single Air Canada flight has been cancelled. Hey guys! So this is an ongoing journaling of my day 1 of being stranded in Vancouver and trying to get to Ottawa for my visiting elective. So for tonight, I decided to visit the Richmond night market, and you can see behind me there's lots of things to do. So right now I'm sitting in the food court, and there's lots of pretty tree lights here, and you can see over there are games to play, and then over there is vendors because it's a gigantic market, and over here we have food here for sale. So yeah, that's kind of my update at this point. Stay tuned for what happens for day 2 of being stranded in Vancouver, and we'll see how long it takes for me to get from Vancouver to Ottawa next. Currently my flight is scheduled for the Friday of August 22nd, and I have 3 connecting flights that I have to go through. It's gonna go from Vancouver to Winnipeg to Montreal, and then from Montreal finally to Ottawa. So it's a full day of travel. So we'll see how it goes. And so I'll keep you updated. Bye! Hey guys, so this is my hotel room that I've been put into for the night as I'm waiting for my flight from Vancouver to Ottawa. And this is a queen size bed, so that's kind of nice. It's only for one night though, and I do have to go back to the airport tomorrow morning to talk to the Air Canada service people and see if I can get another hotel potentially for the next night, depending on if I have to wait more time for my flights to get to Ottawa for my elective. So stay tuned, we'll see what happens tomorrow, and good night. Bye! Hey guys, so this is day 2 of being stranded in Vancouver. So I went to the airport again, and they told us there's no flights leaving here at the moment for Air Canada, which is very unfortunate. So now I have to go and explore if there's any options where I can take a flight down to the US and then back towards Ottawa. So stay tuned and we'll see how things goes when I talk to the agents and the managers. After another unsuccessful bid to get myself onto an airplane of any sort to get to Ottawa, it was now time to grab some food, and at least they gave me some food vouchers to use. Hey guys, so this is the end of day 2 of being stranded in Vancouver, and earlier today I was trying to see if I could get a flight that could go down to the US and back to Ottawa but unfortunately there was nothing available at all, so here I am still stuck in Vancouver. I also was lucky enough to have a one-night hotel stay yesterday, as you saw, but unfortunately with the sheer amount of passengers that are stranded, all the hotels are booked out for the next few days, so Air Canada wasn't really able to help me find another hotel to stay at without having to pay out of my own pocket. So I had to contact quite a few people that I knew in the Vancouver area and beyond, and I was very lucky. I was able to find someone who's happy enough to let me couch surf their place, and I'm very grateful for this because, oh my goodness, not only are all the hotels booked out, but all the surrounding hotels in the surrounding areas of Vancouver are at these very high prohibitive costs that I really cannot afford at this time as a student with a bunch of student debt and loans. So very lucky I was able to find someone. So here I am at their apartment slash condo actually, and it's been a very exhausting day, so I'm gonna go to bed soon. But another update is I was able to get in contact with the residents and the people from the program that I've been signed up with for a medical school elective, and they've been very generous and very accommodating of my schedule and my current situation. So I'm actually gonna have a virtual meeting with the resident tomorrow morning and get started on the elective virtually and remotely. So very lucky again that I'm able to still participate in this elective, albeit in a different manner, and still learn. So that is my update for day 2, and I'll let you know what happens on day 3 of being stranded in Vancouver. Bye! So this is now day 3 of being stranded in Vancouver, and thankfully the pathology program down in Ottawa was kind enough to let me get started virtually. So here I am on a Zoom call with my program director for the elective. Then I headed over to the famous Camdo Bakery in Vancouver to grab some delicious bakery items to get myself ready for another slog at the airport. Okay, so guys, breaking news! I actually got onto a flight, and they actually rebooked me from Air Canada to WestJet after I basically bothered and annoyed them to no end. So I'm very lucky that I'm standing in a lineup for WestJet to get checked in. And oh my goodness, I'm literally sitting on an actual airplane. This is wild. And what's better is that because they put me in the emergency exit, I got tons of leg space. Okay, first flight done. Let's get ready for another flight after this one. Hey guys! So I'm super excited about the fact that I'm no longer stranded at the Vancouver airport, and as you can tell, I'm at a different airport now. This is the Calgary airport. So my flight was rebooked by Air Canada to WestJet to go from Vancouver to Calgary with an hour and a half layover in Calgary, and then the final leg of the flight is going to be Calgary to Ottawa, which is my final destination and the place I need to go to. So I'm so happy that I'm able to get onto a flight, and I've been told that the Calgary to Ottawa flight is also fully booked. So super lucky I'm able to travel to the place I need to go. So I'm going to grab some food to eat because it's around dinner time and get ready for the last leg of the flights. Bye! Went to go double check the flight board to make sure that it did not say cancelled because that was very traumatizing the last few days. And then I went to one of my favorite places to get food, Starbucks, though I feel like the prices are definitely going up, and I picked up my food. Finally, I got to go on the flight that will take me to Ottawa, and I got to sit in the emergency exit, so I got priority boarding plus extra leg room, and a window too on top of all of that. I watched Marvel's Thunderbolts while on the plane, and before I knew it, we were arriving in Ottawa. That's so exciting! Okay guys, we have officially arrived in Ottawa, and it's about 12:30 a.m. right now. You can see it's pretty empty in the airport, and the plan is to grab an Uber or a Lyft to take me to my friend's apartment. He's very graciously allowed me to stay at his apartment for the length of my elective, so thank you so much for that. That saves me a lot of money for rent and not having to pay for extra fees for that. So let's head over to the exit and find myself an Uber or a Lyft. So I quickly exited so I could start finding my way towards the areas where the Ubers and the Lyfts are, and you can see how busy it is, filled with many travelers like me who were probably stranded in multiple airports and were finally able to get a flight to reach their final destination. Anyways, let's go find out what exactly I'm gonna do. Okay guys, so I found out where I need to go for the lift, and I'm waiting for the driver to arrive now, so yay. Did not get lost too much at this time of the night. It's basically 1 o'clock now and my lift isn't arriving till maybe 10 minutes later, so we will patiently wait. But man, I am ready to hit the bed after I get to my friend's apartment, but I'll let you know how the rest of my night goes from here at the airport to my friend's apartment and on the lift ride. Bye! So my Lyft driver was a totally awesome person. Dennis, you were an amazing Lyft driver, and I also hope you get into medical school because you were telling me all about how you're applying, and best of luck to you. I know you'll do great. Okay guys, I am now here at the apartment, and this is my friend's key, so just gotta find the right... There you go. Oh, it's like magic. Okay, awesome. This is a very nice apartment. This is my first time. I've never been here before. And there's a second key fob here. I gotta just scan it. Voila. Oh, did I open the door now? Oh, it's automatic. Okay. Alright. This is a nice lobby. Oakley dokley. Let's see where I am going. Louisa gets lost at the airport. Louisa gets lost at the airport. Louisa gets lost in an apartment. Oh, there's the elevators. Okay, let's head up. Actually, I don't even know which unit my friend's in. Does it say here? Okay, let's figure out exactly which floor we're going to. 883 and then 812. Here we are. Okay, let's see. My friend gave me the key that actually works. Key. I can't also open the doors. There we go. Wonderful. Ta-da! Welcome to my friend's apartment. It's somewhat clean, I think. Okay, let's get set up here and head to bed. Good night! Good morning! So, I'm right now heading to the train station so I can buy some day passes for the public transit system here. And after I get to the train station, it's gonna take a bus and head over to the hospital. Stay tuned. Bye. So the walk towards the train station was a very lovely one. The weather wasn't too bad. It was a bit sunny, but not overbearingly hot. And the train station wasn't too far away from where I was staying at my friend's apartment, maybe about 5 minutes. And the station I went to is called Leon Station. So I bought my 3-day pass because I only have 3 more days left in the weekdays before the weekend, and the weekend actually does a 2-for-1 deal, so I figure I'd save for that when my friend comes back and my brother comes to visit me. The train lines actually aren't too complicated in Ottawa. You only really have to worry about one line pretty much. Okay, so I got my tickets, yay, 3-day pass, and now waiting for the train to arrive, and I'm going to take the train, do a transfer to a bus, and head over to the hospital. Stay tuned. So I took the train to the stop I wanted to go to, and I waited at this bus station with other people for the hospital bus. So literally this bus has the word hospital on it, so I definitely wasn't gonna get lost trying to get to the hospital, which was very nice. And that's one successful trip to the hospital, hooray! So using my trusty Apple Maps guide, I was able to get off the stop and reach the U of Ottawa Medicine building. And it's a very nice health sciences building actually. I really enjoy walking in and just taking a look to see what it looked like. Okay, so we arrived at the hospital, yay! Took a train and a bus to get there, but now it's time to find out where I'm heading to, which building, so let's get lost with me together. So that U Ottawa Medicine building was actually not the building I needed to go to, so I asked some of the lovely and very friendly locals here to figure out exactly where I needed to go. So I took this really long back route basically to get to the building I needed to go to, and that was the Cancer Center building. And voila! This is the Cancer Center building of the Ottawa General Hospital. Let's head inside and get this elective started. So I went to Protective Services to grab my ID card and badge, and I have to say the card and badge actually looks so much more legit than the one I get from my home medical school, so yay, winning for U Ottawa. Then it was time to find my preceptor, who happened to be the program director of the pathology department, And so I went to the reception and I was able to find the main doors I needed to get through with my card to meet my preceptor and the rest of the pathology team. Then I was shown how to get to the residence lounge. So basically this is where all the anatomical pathology residents hang out and get their work done on their microscopes. And when I walked in, I felt very welcome because they actually gave me my own desk. So I had a placard that said medical student and I had my own microscope. So I felt very welcomed. Thank you so much, U Ottawa, for the warm reception. And as you can see, each resident has their own cubicle/desk with their own microscopes and computers. But what I really liked was everyone was super helpful and welcoming. They really wanted me to learn, so I could just walk over, talk to anyone, and get some help. So I was given some cases to work on by my preceptor, specifically gynecological pathology. So you can see me just working hard, looking at the microscope slides, and that was actually a lot of fun and very peaceful and relaxing. Hey guys, so I'm done for today, and it was my first official in-person day at the pathology lab at the University of Ottawa, and I think it went pretty well actually. So I mostly spent time with the pathologist, and we basically looked at a lot of slides, specifically focusing on LEAP, L-E-E-P, which is basically an examination of potential patients with gynecological related cancers, and I thought it went really well. I definitely learned lots about how to identify specific findings on the microscope, so I was really happy. So right now I took the bus and the train to the end of the line, and essentially I'm here at Costco because I want to get some groceries. So let's head to Costco and get ourselves some delicious food for dinner and for the rest of my stay here in Ottawa for the elective. But carrying all these groceries back from Costco definitely gave me the best arm workout of my entire life. Also, I really didn't want to pay 20 bucks for a lift, so I'm kind of cheap that way, and so I took my public transit because I am getting that full value out of my 3-day pass. Okay, so I did all my grocery shopping and I did some cooking, cleaned up everything in the apartment, and now I am tired, exhausted, ready to head to bed and get ready for another day of my elective. Good night! Hey, so today is my second official day of being in person for my visiting elective, and today I've been assigned to forensic pathology, which means I'll be doing autopsy, so yay, super excited for that. So the plan now is to get changed from my hospital assigned scrubs into also a different set of hospital assigned scrubs. I'll let you know how the autopsy goes. Bye! Hey guys, so I finished the autopsy and it was super interesting, super informative, and lots of learning. They let me do some dissections of the organs, and that was great because it allowed me to really understand the anatomy better and actually conceptualize whatever we've been taught in medical school. So I was really happy I was able to get hands-on in terms of the pathology and the autopsy. So the plan now is to head up to the residence lounge here and get some forms signed to say that basically I attended today's session for my elective, and then we'll see what happens next, so stay tuned. Hey guys, so I am done for today, and that means it's now time to check out the rest of the city. So it's a Thursday in Ottawa, and that means there's quite a few museums that are actually free. So I decided to go check out the Canadian Museum of Nature. So we are here at the Canadian Museum of Nature, and this is a pretty amazing looking poster and advertisement. And over here, that is the actual museum. So we're gonna walk over there and check out what's inside. Hey guys, so it's the end of day 2 of my visiting elective, and it's been a great busy day. So tomorrow I've actually been assigned to a different hospital. This one's called the Civic Hospital in Ottawa, which is in a different area from the General Hospital, which is the hospital I've been situated at for the past 2 days. And I've been assigned to a breast pathologist, so we'll see how tomorrow goes when I wake up in the morning and head over to the hospital. Otherwise, good night and see you tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. So I'm heading to the Civic Hospital in Ottawa, and today, as I mentioned, I'll be following a breast pathologist. So gonna head to the train station, catch the train, transfer to a bus, and we'll see how the rest of the day goes, so stay tuned. Bye! I will say that many of Ottawa's buildings, and especially the hospital buildings, are very beautiful. I really enjoy their architecture, but I know nothing about it, so I will not even attempt to pretend that I do. Anyways, I'm just walking around now because I've been told to meet a preceptor at a specified location, but I have no idea what he looks like, so I'm gonna walk around until I find him. Update, I found him. Well, more like he found me because he recognized my glasses, and he got me a hot chocolate, so yay, a great way to start the day. We headed up to his room, and I have to say all these hallways are starting to look pretty similar. Hey guys, so I finished my day today with the breast pathologist and it went really well. So we didn't just only look at breast histology slides, but we also did things like GI, so we looked at the duodenum and the stomach, and then we also looked at the prostate together. So overall, the pathologist I worked with was super knowledgeable, and he really took the time to sit down and show me all the different patterns and kind of how to recognize them on these different histology slides. So I was really grateful I had him as an attending for today. So now it's time to explore the rest of Ottawa. So I'm here just waiting for the bus to pick me up. So I'll let you guys know what I end up doing for the rest of the day. Bye! Hey guys, so I finally boarded the bus, and guess what? I am the only person on the bus right now. Check this out. I had this bus all to myself back from the Civic Hospital in Ottawa to the train station. It's basically like a private vehicle at this point. It's even better than the taxi, Uber, or Lyft. So I decided I wanted to go explore Rideau Centre, which is a shopping mall in Ottawa. And so with the train ride taking a bit of time, I started teaching my music student thanks to my trustee data. One of the cooler stores in Rideau Centre was called Aesop, which sells skin, hair, and body products, and mostly I just like their tea, so that was kind of fun and delicious. Then I decided to head home to get ready for some dinner, and I can never resist not going on a double-decker bus, so that was a must, and of course it offered amazing views as we passed by the parliamentary buildings of Ottawa. Hey guys, so I'm done dinner now, and I figured I'd go for a nice little nighttime stroll here in the parliamentary buildings and the grounds. And so here are the buildings. We've got here the West Block, and then we have the Center Block, which is currently going through a ton of construction, and you can see the Peace Tower, which is the big tower in the middle here, has a lot of cranes around it. And then over here we have the East Block. And then if you walk that way, you'll see what we call the Centennial Flame, which is to commemorate Canada's 100th anniversary, and it contains all the provinces and the territories that joined Canada and the years that they joined. So we're going to get a bit closer to see what it looks like. So here we have the Centennial Flame, and you can see that the years are at the bottom for each of the provinces and territories that joined Canada. And it's actually nice and toasty near the flame, even though it's not too cold tonight. So yeah, that's the Centennial Flame. Good morning, everyone. So it is now Saturday, and that means it's the weekend. So for my elective, I don't have to go in on the weekends, which is nice, which means I have some free time to myself. And so I've chosen to go behind the parliamentary buildings this time. So yesterday night, I was walking in front, and now I'm walking behind. And I have a really nice view I want to share with all of you. So over here we have the West Block, and then as you move over to the right, you'll also see more buildings. Specifically over here is the Supreme Court. And then we have the river. This is the Ottawa River. And then the Ottawa River separates the Ottawa part and also the Gatineau part, which is on the right side. It's a bit hard to see just because you have a bunch of foliage blocking the way. And right now my plan is to finish my walk here and then head over to the Supreme Court, this building right here, to go check out their free guided tour. So stay tuned for that. So I joined the guided tour for the Supreme Court, and we were told that the Supreme Court's actually closing for renovation and rehabilitation next year, and it's expected to stay closed for maybe 15 to 20 years. So I was pretty happy and grateful I was able to see part of it before they close it down for the next little while. Hey guys, so I finished dinner and I decided to go for another nightly stroll. This time I went in the direction away from the parliamentary buildings, and I saw on my phone and also on the local maps that there's supposed to be a fall here, and it's called Chaudière Falls, which is between Ottawa and Gatineau. So I went and walked here. It was only about maybe 15 to 20 minutes walk, and I was really disappointed because there weren't actually any falls at all. So here's what it looks like. I walked across this bridge here, and here is supposed to be the falls, which I don't see any falls. Anyways, I decided to head back towards the apartment, but I want to show all of you the amazing views of Ottawa, downtown Ottawa, and yeah, and there's not a single soul to be found here, but I am grateful for the lights because, not gonna lie, it's kind of low-key scary when you're walking by yourself and there's no lights in the area. So that's my update for Saturday evening plans, and I'll keep you updated for tomorrow for Sunday. Bye! Hey guys, so today is Sunday and I'm super excited because the friend that I'm staying at his apartment is back here in Ottawa and he's almost here to the apartment. So I'm waiting here in the main lobby until he arrives. Stay tuned! And woohoo! My friend is finally here. Hello. Hello. And of course we had to go for some noodles as a celebratory reunion meal. So the weekend went by pretty quickly, and before I knew it I was back at the hospital for my elective, and I'm just reading some of this textbook while I'm waiting for my preceptor to show up. Also, I wanted to show you guys this really cool multi-head microscope for case conferences where multiple people can look at the same slide. Hey guys! So it's the start of the second week of my visiting elective here in Ottawa. So today so far I've been doing lymph node pathology with my attending, and right now I'm sitting in the Anatomical Pathology residence workstation where in the last hour or so I've been working on reviewing and providing feedback to these modules about pathology that's going to be used for the medical students here at U Ottawa. Alright, see you guys later for the rest of my day. I also wanted to show you guys how they do scrubs at the hospital here. So for my other core rotations back at where I attend medical school, they just put a gigantic cart of scrubs out and you just pick the scrubs you need. But here they actually have two machines, one for picking up your scrubs, so you scan your card as you see, and then you open up one of the slots here and then pick up the corresponding size that you signed up for and pay your deposit for. Then they also have a separate machine to return your scrubs. So here I am scanning again and then getting ready to return the scrubs that I was wearing throughout the day. They have a slot for the top and a slot for the bottom, and then once you return both of them, then the system recognizes that you have another credit to get another set of scrubs for later on. So the rest of the elective went by really quickly for the last week. I saw lots of slides as expected. I also attended some round cases, and that was interesting because basically saw the coolest cases that was seen by all the residents and other people. And then of course I got some free drinks. That's also very important as a medical student. Your residents buying you drinks, hooray! I only wasn't just focused on my elective. I mean, it's called a traveling elective for a reason, so I really took the time to see a lot of parts of Ottawa. So one thing really cool about Ottawa is the museums actually have to start doing all their caching at 4 p.m. So the last hour of the museum is actually free to the public. And so I was able to visit a lot of the museums that way without having to pay a ton. I basically finished my day at the hospital, go to the museum I'm focusing on for the day, and speed run through the museum for the last hour of operating hours. So you can see me showing all the different video clips of the museums I was able to visit when I was in Ottawa. And it's actually quite substantial. I'm pretty sure we visited all the major ones. The one museum I recommend not rushing through is the Canadian National War Museum. I actually went on the Thursday when the museum was free to public between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. But the National War Museum actually closes at 7 p.m. so I took way too long to get through. And by the time I realized that it was closing in like 10 minutes, you can see me running through the last bit of the museum. Guys, so I thought the museum closes at 8 p.m. but actually closes at 7 p.m. So I'm just walking really quickly because I still haven't seen an entire section here at the Canadian War Museum. So you can see me like walking super fast here because I really want to check out this area. This is awesome. They have tons of army vehicles and tanks here. And it's called a Liberating Gallery. Oh my gosh, that is pretty awesome. Okay, we're about to speed run through all these vehicles here and tanks and other assorted artillery. So yeah, lesson learned, just definitely plan out your night or day at the Canadian War Museum. Hey guys, so I made it to the National Art Gallery Canada and it closes at 8 o'clock, so I have about half an hour to speed run the museum here, so come with me. So yeah, another museum I would not speed run, highly recommend, is the Canadian National Art Gallery. This place is absolutely humongous. I was able to get through maybe 95% of the museum in about half an hour, but that was basically me speed walking like crazy. So again, like the Canadian National War Museum, probably should plan out your day or evening so you're able to fully enjoy all the exhibits without having to walk like a complete maniac. Anyways, other places of interest I was able to visit was definitely the famous Byward Market, so many things to see, many things to eat, many things to buy. Another cool thing I got to try in Ottawa was being able to do an escape room aboard a pirate ship while it was moving. And the escape room happens in the evening, so you're actually doing the escape room while it gets super dark, which I thought was pretty cool. But also pretty hard because you have to basically rely on the lights they give you to be able to see all the puzzles. And before I knew it, it was the very last day of my elective. Hey guys, so I just finished my final day here at U Ottawa and the Ottawa Hospital for my 2-week Anatomical Pathology elective. So I really felt that this elective went by in a blink of an eye. It feels like just yesterday I was telling you guys all the problems I encountered while trying to get from Vancouver to Ottawa because of the Air Canada strike. And so I'm really glad I made it here and I didn't miss a ton of my elective time. Everyone here was super chill, especially the staff, the residents, and the other allied healthcare professionals. They really made sure I had the chance to experience the full suite of training and opportunities U Ottawa and the Ottawa Hospital had to offer when it came to this elective. One thing I really liked about the residency program here was how close-knit everyone was together. So all the residents, as you saw, sat in the same room, which meant all the PGY1s all the way to PGY5 sat together so they could work on cases together, collaborate, and talk with each other, not just about pathology, but other things. So I really enjoyed the friendship being built there, and also for myself, as the medical student, I had access to a vast entire library of resource and knowledge at my fingertips if I needed help with any problems when it came to my case reports or doing sign-outs. So in general, I had a fantastic time here in Ottawa. It's a lovely city, first of all, and as you saw, I was able to visit a lot of iconic places, buildings, monuments, and the weather is really great in August too. As you can see, it's a nice windy breeze right now, and in general, I didn't have to wear a ton of layers or clothes. Most of the time, I just had to wear a t-shirt or a t-shirt and a long sleeve shirt combo, but even then, it's a nice gentle breeze. It's not a heavy wind. So if you're interested in pathology and you want to try out an elective down by the east side of Canada, Ottawa is a city I definitely recommend, as well as the U Ottawa program. Thanks for watching part of my video for another episode of Lulu MD, and stay tuned for my next rotation, which is going to be geriatrics. Okay, you guys are recording now.
We're on a road trip!
We're going to Montreal.
For poutine and bunch of sliced smoked meat. What'd you say, Dad? What then? Thank you.
So yeah, that's my friend that you saw earlier in the video, alongside my absolutely fantastic, wonderful, and crazy brother if you haven't met him in my other videos. And as you heard, we are doing a day trip to Montreal, so I was driving at the time. So we're here to check out a few cool places. Our first stop is the famous Marché aux Puces, which is a very large and gigantic flea market that's indoors. Hey guys, so I went to this buffet in Montreal. It's in Chinatown. It costs $25 including tax to get in and eat. And they have a lot of food. And if you're in Montreal, Chinatown, you have to go and try the all-famous dragon beard candy that's been run by the same people for many years. So guys, we're in Montreal and we're at the Science Center. So I got in with my science card that I got in Edmonton, and we have half an hour to do another speed run of the museum here. So let's go. So yes, I was guilty of doing yet another speed run at a different museum and in a different city, this time being the Montreal Science Center, and it was actually a lot of fun. I feel like I would have been able to appreciate maybe another half an hour more than what I was given to work with, because it was a pretty fun museum to attend. And also, it gives you gorgeous views of old Montreal and the old port afterwards when you walk outside of the Science Center. And that concludes the adventures of my traveling elective. Again, thanks for watching. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to watch more of my content, especially now that I'm in my final year of medical school. Lulu MD, out.